Here. You know, I don't know about the rest of you, but sometime right around 10 o'clock in the morning, somewhere right around there, it's getting earlier and earlier, but I wake up a little bit earlier than that, by the way, and I realize, holy smokes, we have a real president of the United States. Isn't that great? So, as some of you know, I chaired the Trump campaign in Virginia for 10 months. When he asked me to chair his campaign back in Manassas, and way back, this is December of 2015, and I had a lot of thoughts about it. I had to think about it because the county that I govern, and I governed Prince William County for 10 years, is 454,000 people. We're growing by about net increase of about 10,000 people per year. It's 54% minority, and I'm elected by the entire county. There are 3 counties in the state where you've got essentially a county-wide elected chairman. It's like being a big city mayor. And I knew that when I accepted that job that I was going to get a lot of blowback, and I did, from a lot of people. Frankly, a lot of people were never going to vote for me anyway. But it was going to be a tough situation. Anyway, is anyone here able to make the inauguration, able to go to the inauguration? It was Waverly, of course. But it was such a great day. And I was on top of one of the press buildings. It was the MSNBC building. Believe it or not, they wanted to have a token conservative on some of these panels. And I never got too close to the edge, by the way. I thought, well, they could probably just kick me over or something like that. But there I was on top of it with all these liberal, all these horrific news media people. And there was Don Lemon. Do you know this guy? All right, he is the worst of the worst. This guy works for CNN. He's in this panel, and we're doing this panel, and here comes the president, President Trump, and his family coming down the Pennsylvania Avenue, and as he's coming by, there's some boos in the crowd. This really happened, by the way. There's some boos in the crowd, and Don Lemon says, "Oh, look. They're booing Donald Trump." And there was one honest reporter from CNN. She said, "No, Don, they just introduced Nancy Pelosi." This is a true story. But the left is totally falling apart. They're crazy. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have friends, and yes, a couple of family members who don't talk to me right now. They're so, they could accept my politics, my conservative politics, when Obama was in office, and they felt like they had nothing to be threatened by. But today they're just falling apart. They're going crazy. They're going in every which way, every direction. And they're absolutely nuts. So last night, well, before I get there, the Saturday before last, I showed up in Charlottesville because the city of Charlottesville, the city council, which has got 5 members on a city council, 3 of them are just outright communists. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm a political science major, and I'm trying to think of another term. But these are really communists. They're really so left-wing. There's not a better term for these tyrants, because this is what they did. They voted in a vote of 3-2, if you can believe this, to remove a statue which had been there since 1924, of a great Virginian and a great American, Robert E. Lee. Now think about that for a second. They're trying to erase history. They're trying to rewrite history. And there's a lot of issues in this campaign, folks, and I know that. But we have been backing up too long. And every time the left and the news media accuses one of us as a conservative of racism or bigotry or intolerance or any of these things, we back up and we run away as fast as we possibly can. Well, that ended in 2016. And in Virginia, it's going to end in 2017. And so the Saturday before last, I showed up with a conservative, black Facebook. He's predominant. He's very, very popular. He's got more than 2 million viewers. So he showed up to the statue, and there we were met by 100 plus protesters who are shoving us around in our face, spitting the whole works. But we caught it live on Facebook Live. And so far we've had over 100,000 views of that video. Anybody get a chance to see that? Yep. We would check it out because, oh, if you did, Susan, good, thank you. Because it really does go to show just how left and how wacko they've gone. They've gone totally off kilter. So yesterday, we showed up again. But this time, we brought with us Bikers for Trump. Sons of the Confederacy. We had it all. We had it all. And let me tell you something. I am proud of our heritage here in Virginia. I'm absolutely proud of our history, our heritage. I'm proud to be a Virginian. You know, there is no culture, there's no country, there's no nation on the face of this planet that has a history or a heritage that is pure. All of us have warts. Everybody. Every single culture. And if we're going to judge people according to today's standards who lived 150 years ago, that's just wrong. And we're not going to do it. And when I am governor, one of the first things I'm going to do is to sign in law the Monuments Protection Act to make sure that no war memorial, whether it's Confederate or Union, is ever removed again in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We can't keep losing the cultural battle. We cannot keep losing it. We've got to stand up. Because you know something the left has learned? The left has learned that when they challenge us on these things, we go running in the opposite direction and they come right after us. But when you stand up to them, they don't know what to do because the average person agrees with us. Now in Prince William County, 454,000 people. I've been governing, and I've won, by the way, 4 times. The first time in a special election, 4 times as a conservative. And in 2007, I led the nation's toughest crackdown on illegal immigration in the United States. And I had establishment politicians, I'm not going to name names, but you can probably figure out some of them who they are. They called me up and said, are you absolutely out of your mind? You're in a very diverse county and you're standing up for a tough crackdown on illegal immigration. You're never going to get reelected, ever. But we did it anyway. And I got reelected by a bigger margin than the year before. And to date, we have handed over to the federal government more than 7,500 criminal illegal aliens from Prince William County alone for deportation. Our crime rate in the next 3 years, the violent crime rate dropped by 48.7%. And the Washington Post called that a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. We know if somebody's here illegally and they commit a crime, and you let them back out, they're going to commit another crime. So when I'm governor of this state, we are going to leverage, as we did in Prince William County, every single law enforcement official in this state. Sheriff's deputies, police departments, jail officials. We are going to utilize existing law enforcement to work with the federal government under the 287G program to make sure that when somebody is arrested and we determine that they're here illegally, we're going to remove them not just from that community, we're going to remove them from Virginia, and we're going to deport them from the United States and make sure they never come back. In 2008, soon after I was elected, the first budget I was able to have some control over. You know, these budgets are tough on the local level. We cut $285 million out of our base budget. We lowered the average tax bill. It was the biggest tax cut ever in Prince William County history. We reduced the average tax bill in Prince William County in 1 year by $400. And today, Prince William County's tax bills are 30% lower than the rest of Northern Virginia. And when that happened, an amazing thing happened. That combined with this, we worked to have the amount of time that it takes for a business to open or expand a business in Prince William County. And a funny thing happened. And you as conservatives know what happened, because we know that when you get off the back of business, when you let people keep more of their own money, and invest their own money, a funny thing happens. The economy grows and jobs come, and now Prince William County is #1 in job growth, Virginia #3 in the United States. And that's because we got off the back of business and we let people keep their own money. And I'm going to kind of get it short. I know you got a lot of questions, but I just want to let you know this one thing. There's a lot of issues in this campaign, and I know, look, I mean, jobs is the biggest thing, and one thing is, and I heard a little bit what Frank had to say, but here's a big one. Do you know that North Carolina in 2010 had a top marginal income tax rate of 7.75%? As of January 1st of 2017, their top marginal income tax rate is now 5.49%. They have cut significantly their income tax because they know that most businesses are small businesses, and small businesses create 80% of the jobs, and most small businesses pay income tax at what rate? The personal income tax rate. And they knew that when they cut it, they were going to create jobs, and they have. We have been losing 10,000 high-paying manufacturing jobs per year since 2010. The only way we're going to be able to reverse that is to create a better tax environment, a better business environment in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the thing that I'm going to be focused on as governor is just that. Creating jobs, and instead of losing jobs that we have been in Virginia, we're going to be creating jobs more than any other state in the Mid-Atlantic, in fact, more than any other state in the United States. But I want to let you know one thing. I have lost a couple of political battles. I've never lost a general election, by the way. But I've never backed down. I've never backed down. I've always stood my ground, and I've always won. And that's because even if people disagree with you, when they know that you have a conviction, when they know that you're going to do whatever you can do to get that thing done, when they know that you're going to stand up and be strong, they're going to follow you. And sometimes people come up and say, Mr. Stewart, I disagree with this, that, and the other thing. I say, look, if you want a politician who agrees with everything you believe in, you need to run for office yourself. And in Virginia, we took back our country in 2016, and in 2017, with all of your help, we're going to take back the Commonwealth. Thanks a lot.